Step after step, switchback after switchback, I climbed higher, always with the clouds just behind me. I kept glancing over my shoulder. What happens if they catch up? Would the snow promised in the forecast finally begin to fall? Last night's storm had already reminded me how fast things can turn in the mountains. After months buried in paperwork and daily routines, I needed out, away from the noise, back to the quiet rhythm of the trail. Not just for this trip, but to rekindle something for seasons ahead. So I followed the endless streams of cars, highway after highway, leaving behind the concrete and gray skies. As soon as I glimpsed the mountains, everything shifted. The lush green hills, the blue sky stretching wide above me. I was coming alive again. Higher and higher I climbed until I reached the trailhead. My 4-day adventure was about to begin.
Well, my friends, we are finally on a trail again. I can't believe it. It's been so long. But I'm so excited. I have many news for you this time around. Big plans for the next months. So I can't wait to tell you all about it later on in the video. But in the meantime, we'll just enjoy our hike here to our first camp here in the San Bernardino Mountains.
But to understand what this trip really meant, I need to take you back on a hike in the Adirondacks years ago. I was with some climbing friends from Montreal, camping in Keene Farm. We were planning to hike Mount Colden, 14 miles, topping out at 4,700 feet. Hiking had always been a part of my life, but endurance, not so much. I was always the one gasping on steep hills, and this day was no different. The first part of the trail was beautiful, Lake Colden shimmering beside us, but the moment we started climbing, I fell behind. My legs turned to lead, my lungs burned, and halfway up, I seriously considered turning back. But that made no sense, we were too far in. So I pushed on, following my much fitter friends. The views were stunning, but I barely noticed. Every step felt like a battle. Even the descent was brutal. My knees ached, my calves screamed. It wasn't type A fun. It wasn't even type B fun. It was just misery. I stayed in my tent the next day, rain pounding from the remnants of Hurricane Harvey. Oddly, a welcome break. My legs couldn't take another hike anyway. The mountains didn't call me that weekend. and I didn't answer for a long time. Everything changed when we moved to Oregon. The Cascade Mountains were unlike anything I'd seen. Towering, snow-capped, full of mystery. I snowshoed near them, camped at their base, and something stirred in me. For the first time, I wanted to summit. Really summit. I picked up the book Training for New Alpinism by Steve House and Scott Johnston. I made plans, but just as I started, we had to move again, this time to California. Another pause, another dream on hold. But when I camped beneath Mount Langley in the Sierra Nevada mountains, the fire returned. And so here I am, walking toward Dry Lake near San Gorgonio, not aiming for the summit, yet. This is the first step. This is my first time in this area here. I haven't even done any day hikes here. It's just such a long drive. Well, it's 2 hours in crazy traffic, so it's not exactly a joy, but I think in the future I'm gonna come here more often just to get some training in, get some camping and nature in, because I cannot be in the city forever. I must get out and enjoy all this here. Some water. I definitely need to filter some because it's going to be a while until the next one comes around. We are working our way up the mountain. In front of me there's just a gorgeous view. It's definitely a burned area and it's all just brush. So there's no place at all that I could camp even if I wanted to. It's basically thorn bushes. Have to find out what those are, but they don't look very comfortable. And manzanita and yeah. Just all the low brush that grows after a fire that comes back within a couple of years or so. And there it is. That's really quite something. I wonder why it's called that. But we'll check it out real quick, even though the path is not going this way. But it should be a nice view. Well, my friends, I don't know if this is an official campsite or not, but the name kind of suggested to come here if you can't go any further. I can actually go further, but I don't know if there's a lot of camping beyond this point in this kind of brush and stuff right here. That's where the path continues, and
I think I might just stay here because I have a 360 view that's absolutely amazing. And tomorrow I'll head all the way up to the lake where I want to be. Yeah, I'm so stoked to have a place like this. I hope I can get my tent fixed in a way that it doesn't blow away. But there are some rocks here, so. I was looking at this spot over here too, but there's some delicate moss that I don't want to disturb, and I know this stuff kind of takes a while to regrow in these regions, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stay right here in this dirt patch. Didn't eat anything all afternoon because I was running low on water, and I knew the moment I tried to eat the sandwich I would be really thirsty. And so I had no snacks or anything. Now I'm starving. Sun is almost going down. It would already be dark if I had gone further down into the forest. Oh, it's so magical up here. Just can't believe this spot. Beautiful light right now. So I'm finally doing this, my friends. I've been working mentally on this for probably 2 or 3 years now, and I just haven't really committed yet. And now that I'm speaking out to you guys and putting it on my channel, now I'm committed to it. I want to hike up these mountains. I want to reach the peaks and not just sit down in the valleys and look up at them and wish I could make it up there. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be a lot of training, and I hope you guys will be with me. I hope you will encourage me as well, and we'll go on a lot of trips together in the next few months just to get better, to get stronger, to have more endurance. And this doesn't happen if you only have 2 or 3 backpacking trips a year. I need quite a few of them actually, and also some day hikes and days in the gym where I just work on strength and on endurance. So we'll see where it goes. Hopefully by the fall we have a very special trip planned. I don't want to say anything yet, but we'll see if that works out. I'm gonna work hard to make that happen. So, and now the last of my sun is disappearing. Tell me, my friends, what is your motivation? What is your goal for this year, for this season? What do you want to accomplish? I would love to hear about it. I want to encourage you as well, no matter what your goal is. And we can just be strong together. That would be so amazing. But then we also need quiet times like this here. I'll just sit here, listen to the birds, and no matter where I look, it's just amazing.
I was fast asleep and loud rattling woke me. Where did this wind come from? It had been so calm. My tent shook violently in the gusts. I started regretting choosing such an exposed spot. Would my tent hold? It had never faced wind like this before. Needless to say, I didn't sleep much.
I think all of these guy lines loosened quite a bit from the wind. Let's see. Yeah, it's no good if I can save weight, but they come loose, all of them. Yep. No wonder the tent was flapping around like crazy. It's beautiful this morning. I love the sunshine, the first light of the day. And it's supposed to maybe snow a little bit later today, so we'll see, I guess.
I wanted to pack up before any hikers passed. But of course, the tent stakes stuck again. Flashbacks of leaving frozen steaks in the Adirondacks came rushing back. But not this time. With patience and a couple of rocks, I worked them loose one by one.
It doesn't look like it's gonna snow at all today. Maybe something moves in the afternoon. It would be nice to have the camp set up if there's anything coming in later. So it's hard to get to going again. It's so beautiful here. But I finished my breakfast and I just need to pack it all up now and head to my next beautiful camp, I hope. But check out this hat. It's a brand new one. Actually, it's not that brand new. It's from maybe November now, from my online store. If you like it, I'll put the link down below so you can buy it. I have a few pretty cool pieces of gear there that I designed myself. And this one is a little bit more like my logo. But I have another one for hiking also. And more are to come for backpacking, for kayaking, for snow sports, which I didn't get to do this winter. So there's a whole series coming, and I hope you like it. But check it out on my store. I have hats, t-shirts, I have notebooks, water bottles, the Nalgene bottles, of course, and all sorts of things. Let me know what you think. But, yep, gotta get going, my friends. Got to get going. Just a little bit of snow left. I didn't get to go camping in the snow at all this year, and just seeing the snow makes me kind of happy and sad at the same time. So we'll do this one another time, but this time we're going to Dry Lake. This is such a good place to stop in the sun and by the water, and just before the trail gets really steep. That really hurt, and it's probably going to leave a bruise, but nothing can stop me from continuing on my track. I moved deeper into the mountain range, the incline still gentle, thoughts dancing between the beauty around me and how on earth I would train for elevation in a sea of freeways and apartment buildings. But that was a question for another day. Be present, my friend Jules always says. So I tried. The trail was getting increasingly hard to follow. Did I miss a turn somewhere? I turned around and saw clouds. Where did those come from? They look neat and hopefully stay where they are. The trail soon vanished under piles of limbs. I pulled out my Gaia GPS. Yep, I was off course. Not by much, thankfully. But still, it's those little mistakes that make offline maps such a lifesaver. Back on track, I left when I saw the trail continuing across the creek. There was no obvious crossing, just a jumble of rocks, so I made my way across to the other side.
Up the switchbacks, I ran into bigger challenges. Sections so gnarly I didn't dare film. I needed both hands and hiking poles just to stay upright. Fallen trees, steep loose gravel, crawling under logs. The trail crews hadn't cleared it yet, so hikers carved sketchy detours. My fuel ribbon pants held up like champs, even through thorny brush. And then I looked back. The clouds were closing in. I was eye level with them now, watching them drift and swirl. It was mesmerizing. I'd never stood this close to the sky, not in the Adirondacks, not even in Oregon. But if they reached me, the snowfall in the forecast might become more than just a warning. So I had to keep moving. That's it for this one, my friends. But in the next episode, you'll find out if it actually snows and if I make it to a dry lake. I'll see you then. Take care.